I hope everybody's having a blessed day and shit for real. Man, I'm gonna get into what the fuck happened about a week ago for real. Cause for y'all, for y'all that don't know, sorry, I just got off house arrest and shit for some gun charges and some more shit, and I'm on felony probation. And the other morning, about a week ago, I wake up banging on the door, bang, bang, bang on the door, like 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. I wake up, get up, put some shoes on, go to the door. It's my probation officer, another probation officer, and a cop. They want to come in. They want to do a drug test. They want to do a search and shit in my house because somebody called the Effingham County Sheriff's Department and filed a police report saying that I had all kinds of guns in my house and all kinds of other stuff. Like they just lying on my name because they came through. They searched my whole house the whole time they're searching my bedroom and stuff, my probation officers and stuff. The cop was just standing in the living room. He's looking up at the screen that's in the living room and he's like, man, almost 80,000 views on YouTube. Hell yeah, man. And he's just bullshitting with me. They go through my whole house, this and that. They don't find nothing but a little bit of fucking weed and shit. And there was like a half ounce of weed next to my rolling tray in a drawer. They didn't even care about that. But yeah, I guess somebody called him saying that I had all kinds of guns and all kinds of shit in my house and shit, which I've never been a perfect kid or perfect dude in my life, but I'm not involved in nothing no more. All I do is just be in the studio recording, streaming, podcast, or just recording other people in here for studio time and shit like that. The one thing I hear the most from people, the people that do hate, I do get hate, of course, not a lot, not as much as I did when I first started dropping music. But one of the things I hear the most is, "Oh, he just a wannabe gangster. He a wannabe gangbanger." That's the farthest from the truth with me, for real. Because like you've never seen me throw up the rakes or anything like that. Like all these wannabe white boys that want to be gangsters do. Like I've never once done any of that shit. You don't hear me talking in the way that people that gangbang do. Like you don't see that from me at all. Like I literally was just a hustler my whole life. Yeah, we carried guns, but it was for protection. It wasn't people like misconstrued who and what we were. Like especially because people would be like, "Oh, he just a wannabe gangster. He just a white boy wannabe gangbanger." Like, eat from the country. Why you a white boy want to be gangbanger? That's all that I used to hear. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, if you listen to my music at all, like, I don't talk about gang banging, none of that shit. I talk about hustling. And if you hear me talk about guns in my music, it's literally talking about, like, if you fuck with me, like, that's why we kept guns. We kept guns for protection, self defense. Like, we was just hustlers. So, like, that want to be gang banger, want to be gangster shit. Like, if you actually knew me, you just wrong because it's just not true. But the cops here, they definitely treat us like that. This ain't the first time I've dealt with this. I've had parties and shit in my house and stuff like that where 15 cops pulled up 15 deep, walked in formation with AR-15s and saying that we were jumping people and all kinds of stuff out here. Like this ain't the first time I've dealt with people making lies on my name and the cops having to fucking come out here and shit. Like I've been dealing with that my whole life. Like I started dealing with the cops when I was 15, 14. Like they've been fucking with me and people just like to lie, but I think they're finally realizing now because like I be following all my fucking stuff that I had to do for my felony probation. They came out here, searched my whole house, didn't find nothing because I'm not on shit. I'm literally just trying to get my business going and shit now. Like they went through, they searched the whole studio, they searched the other side of the studio, they searched the podcast area, my living room, my kitchen, laundry room, my bedroom, closets. They went through everything, didn't find a damn thing. And they literally said that somebody called the Effingham County Police. This is what my probation officer said when I just went in there a couple days ago for my meeting. They said that somebody called Effingham County Police and made a police report saying, and my probation officer thinks it's from stuff online. People saying that I have guns from old pics and shit they see of me and stuff like that. But I'm all cool. I ain't get no write ups, nothing because I didn't do nothing wrong. Like literally all that was here was some weed, and I've been honest with the courts, probation, and everything about weed this whole time. So that's the one thing like I hear the most though. Like I don't hear it very often, but every once in a while there's somebody that slides up and be like, "Oh, you just a wannabe gangster." Nah, not at all. I never once have I ever tried to be a wannabe gangbanger. Not once in my life has that ever been me. I was just a hustler. We didn't drill. We weren't out sliding on ops. We weren't doing none of that. We slang shit and carried guns for protection. That was it. We was hustlers. That wannabe gangster shit, like you just judging a book by its cover without reading a chapter or two for real. Like people be goofy. They just don't know somebody and they just judge a book by its cover. They really don't know. Because if you really knew anything about me, you would realize, oh, he's not like that at all. Like he's not trying to be somebody he's not. He just him. I grew up in the country working on a farm and shit. Grew up on a farm, on a rundown farm that my mom rented the old farmhouse from my grandpa and shit. Like I wasn't like we were just hustlers running around. We were crazy kids running around getting in trouble and shit. And then from kids, once we were 16, 17, 18, it started spiraling into making money and shit. And that's all it was. Like, you don't hear me talking about ops. You don't hear me talking about sliding. You don't hear me talking about none of that shit in my music because that's not who I was. And I won't record people in here that cap like that and act like they outside sliding and doing shit that you like, bro. I grew up with you. I know who you are. You weren't like that at all. What are you talking about? Like if that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like I won't listen to music if I know it's fake, especially if they're capping like it's real. If you're capping like it's real and I know your music's fake, I'm not gonna listen to it. That's where the one thing I do give Little Mabu credit with is he doesn't try to act like that's really his life. Everybody knows he admits it. Like I'm not living like that. I just like the music, respect. But if you're coming in and you're trying to cap like that's really how you living and all that, like I won't listen to that type of music because that's the one thing I get. Oh, he just capping. He making music that's not about his life. Every single thing in every one of my songs that I've ever spoke about was part of my life. There's not one thing in my songs that I've ever talked about that wasn't about something I went through. And but to talk about some shit that we got going on right now, I just dropped my first episode of the Still Alive podcast on YouTube. If you go to my videos, you'll see it. I'm gonna be dropping more live streams. I'm gonna try to start doing a live stream like every day or every other day, on top of the music, on top of shorts and podcast episodes and stuff. And then on my social medias and stuff, I've been dropping a whole bunch more stuff. I just dropped a new song called Still Up. It's out on the page right now and gonna be shooting a video for it either tomorrow or depending on how the bad the storm comes in, we might be doing it next weekend. I'm not sure on that shit yet. But and then I got another song that I'm working out. Another song that I'm working on called Long Nights. It's pretty much just about growing up in a small town and partying and running from the cops and just having long nights and not knowing, just disappearing for days and then showing back up drunk and dirty and ran from the cops 3 times. That's pretty much what the Long Nights is about, and it'll be out within the next month or two. It's my first country styled song that I've ever made, and I don't really. I'm still new to that. I'm still learning. I'm still learning on music in general, though. Like when it comes to music, I'm a baby. Like I'm only been doing this for 2 years, and then if you look in those 2 years, there's a gap in the middle for a year that I was on house arrest where I didn't drop anything. So like honestly, when it comes to this music shit, like I'm not been doing it like some people been rapping their whole lives. Like I never rapped before I started doing the DJ and the studio shit first. So but once Long Nights come out, I'm gonna drop the video for that too, and then gonna have some other artists and stuff on for some more podcast episodes and everything like that. And then one of my homies is trying to get me into gaming and streaming like that. I'm not really much of a gamer, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm really gonna get into it like that, really. But hold on, let me pull something up for y'all. Long nights, drop it soon, but still alive. Man, R.I.P. to the homie. Been 3 years. Can't believe it, bro. Man, this camera sucks. I gotta get a new streaming camera. That shit's garbage, bro. But it don't pick up the phone for shit. R.I.P. to the homie, man, for real. But here's the song I just dropped. Still up. Man, that camera sucks. It won't pick that shit up for shit. But yeah, man, I'm just steady working as much as I can because I'm still dealing with a lot of medical shit and stuff. Like, for the people that are watching this that don't know, like last year I was in the hospital for like 3 months straight. I was in ICU and stuff, almost died and got airlifted and all kinds of shit. So it just, this whole past year I've been dealing with so much with medical shit and court shit, and I'm finally off house arrest now. I got off house arrest in August, but I'm still dealing with felony probation shit to where I'm still tied down so much I can't do nothing. I can't leave the state. Like, yeah, so, but I'm gonna let y'all go for now, man. I'll probably do another live stream later. Tap in, drop a like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Be safe.